started was not your best, and the process of change is uncomfortable and ugly, you can't run from it. Who you are and what you were born to do is waiting for you on the other side of this metamorphosis.
So growing up, I grew up on the south side of Flint, Michigan. I had a huge household, only because me and my family, my aunts, my uncles, my mom, we all stayed in the same home together. It was a 6-bedroom home, 3-story house. It was a pretty big house, and as everyone got older, including myself, they went their separate ways, meaning going to get their own homes. And so the last people to be in the house was my aunt, me, and my mom, and my little sister. I grew up in a single parent home. My dad was incarcerated for 11 years of my life. He did 7 years for Michigan State. He brought a lot of damage on that property. Then he did 4 years for violating his parole. It wasn't his, but he was caught with a handgun. He didn't tell, so he took the time. That was another 4 years he was going in my life. But we always stayed in touch. We always wrote each other letters, phone calls, visits, things of that nature. He came home. He went to jail when I was, I want to say, two or three, and he came home when I was like 9, going on 10, around that area, around that time. We had a good little time while he was out. It was all cool. It was all funny games, and then when he went back, it was another wrong place, wrong time type of thing, and he had to serve the consequences for it. Yeah, he did time for a gun that wasn't his, but he took the blame for it. And so that was another 4 years of my life he was gone. And as I got older, he talked to me. He told me like everything was his fault. I was a child enough until I became a man enough to forgive my dad for being on my years, all my life for 11 years. But as I got older, I had to become not a man of my own. I mean, I had male guidance, but I mean, it's not how I wanted male. I wanted my father figure there with me every step of the way. And I can say where I'm at now, I'm not gonna say it's my dad fault. Because he was in my life, I probably would have been somewhere. I would have probably been in college. I would have graduated. I probably did something else. But the route I chose, it just ain't work out. But I forgave him. Like I said, every since I got older, I just had to forgive him. And it wasn't hard because, like I said, I talked to him every day. We communicated, and I see him trying from distance. My sister, that's my little baby. I love her like a daughter. She that's like my other best friend. But we are 11 years apart. 11 years and 24 days apart. We both had her birthday December 5th, my birthday December 29th. One day, Mama came. Mom was like, you want a brother or sister? This after my dad got out. She's like, you want a brother or sister? I'm like, sure, I want a sister. And 2 months later, she came home with you might get what you want. I'm like, what you mean? So, fast forward, I started, like I said, I was only 11 when she had my sister, so I didn't know too much about babies. So I started seeing her stomach get bigger and bigger. And it's crazy because when my dad had got locked up while she was pregnant, my dad was in prison when my sister was born. So that made me become more man as well, because I had to help my mom with a lot of things. But like I said, she's my little queen. I love her to death. She was actually, around the time my dad passed, she was 3 going on 4, 4 going on 5. Yeah, it was one of those. I want to say 3 going on 4. So she was too little to know. But at the same time, she knew who my dad was because of the fact of how she reacted when everything went down. But I'm on her every day for sure. Like I let her know that I'm here for her, whatever, through whatever, thick and thin, whatever she needs for her, whatever she don't feel comfortable going to mama about, it's gonna meet about. Like I want that bond with her. I'm creating that bond with her. You know, I've been creating that bond with her. So that's why she look at me as a big brother, big father figure now, because she see how I'm on her and how I love her and how I be with her and how I support her with her decisions, things of that nature.
Did you feel like you had to grow up too fast?
I'm not gonna say that because I'm not gonna lie. I honestly I'm thankful that I had the job since I was 14. I'm working since I was 14 years old. It all started with Teen Quest, so you know I ain't grow too fast because now I know how to manage money. I know how to go about things different ways. I had a bank account since I was 14 years old, so I'm not gonna say I grew up too fast. I'm gonna say I was brought up right, like I was brought up correctly, the right way.
Yeah. So, walk me through a day. Let's go to when you're 16 now.
I remember a day I would never forget when I lost my father. Like it was like everything was happening so good. Like it was like the death was distracting me. Like I didn't see it coming because everything it was crazy how it happened. So the day before my father passed, I had to get a deadline paper in to go to Sadie's at a high school, and so I was late. I was a week late for getting this paper in, and I was trying to get it in, and I couldn't. And so my dad was like, "Give me that. Let me see that paper." He signed it. He said, "When you get back, I'm not gonna have this paper in my hand no more." So I'm like, "All right, whatever." I was like, "All right, do what you do with it." Boom! I get off of school and I come home. It's a ticket on the table, like saying your ticket to Sadie's. I'm like, "Dad, how you do this?" He's like, "Come on, man. Like I got a string. I'm connected. I got you." I had my whole little fit pulled out. I went to the mall. I mean, little button up slacks, whatever. There's Stacey Adams, And so I'm like, "Dang, I'm really going to Sadie's." So boom. Then after I went to Sadie's, him, my mom, my sister, I'm at the park. They was just, went to dinner, went to a restaurant. They brought me some food back. I'm playing my neighborhood friends, Andrew and Tuna, Buffy and Tuna. I'm playing with them basketball at the park. So I tell them about about the Sadie ticket. They all happy for me. We all went together. So the very next day, which was actually I want to say it was Tuesday, the day before was Tuesday. So the next day was a Wednesday. My dad took me to school. He took my mom to work. He took my sister to school. Usually, I walk to school, and my daddy just walked my sister to school. Mama drive the car to work. But for this some odd reason, my daddy wanted to take me to school, take my sister to school, take my mama to work, and go work out, come back home, have family time, or Bible study, whatnot. Tuesday night, Wednesday night, type of thing. That was our plan for the day. I go to school. All right, pops, I love you. Dap him up, shake his hand. I go in the building. I never had a funny feeling, nothing. I was doing so good this day. I ended up fast forward, boom, school get out. My dad late picked me up from school. He said he would pick me up, me and my cousin Marlon. So we at the school, high school, it's typical what high school people do, just hang out at school, flirt with the girls and that whatnot. So yeah, we after school, flirt with the ladies, wait till my dad come get us. I'm like, dang, my dad ain't come to get us yet. So boom, I'm calling, where you at? He's like, man, I'm coming to get you. I'm down the street. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. So boom, I see him pulling up. Like, we out, Marlon. So we get in the car. We go, it's me, Marlon, my dad, and my Uncle Ro. We just ride to Flint, pull up on my Uncle Ro kids, we go see his kids. We left his kids, went to the hood. So we had to stop, we come to a stoplight. ML King and Mary, it's like a little light. We over there in the 50. So boom, my pops looked back at me and look at Marlo like, hey, like y'all my good luck charm. If anything happens to me, like y'all know what happened. Y'all know who did it. Y'all know everything. So I looked at Marlon. Marlon looked at me, And my chest, like literally, my stomach, my heart literally went to my stomach. I just like jumped. He like, you good? I'm straight. I'm like, I just had a little funny feeling in my stomach, but I'm good. I'm good. I didn't think nothing of it. Hit this left. We parked on Mary. Parked the car. My pops get out, my uncle get out, me and Martin in the back seat, chopping it up, whatnot. We over there chilling for a minute, man. We over there for about probably like 30 minutes at this point. We still in the back seat, we chilling, whatnot. I see a car come down from the back way of Mary. Car coming down. So boom, it's my other uncle. I'm like, all right, it's uncle, we straight. I'm not thinking nothing once again. Feel me? So my uncle get out the car on tip with my pops like, what you doing? Like, what you doing with my brother? My daddy like, man, what you mean I'm doing? I'm doing what a big brother doing. Like, I got my brother, he on tether, he got a day pass, he with me, he straight, what's up? My uncle didn't know that my other uncle Merle was going to church with us at the time. So boom, my daddy talked to my uncle P.O. like, can his day pass get extended? For a couple hours we going to church. His P.O. was cool with that. He said, yeah, he can extend it to 9 o'clock. Like 8:30, 9 o'clock, that's his deadline. If y'all by that time, we come to get it. My pop like, all right, cool. Well, nah, he gonna be home at this certain time. My Uncle Connie ain't know that at the time. He was off some, I don't know, he was off some pills or something. He was just tripping. So he wasn't in the right state of mind anyway. Him and my daddy got arguing over the situation. So then my daddy like, man, if you don't go, you tripping. Like, you ain't in the right state of mind. I try to get on my face. So my uncle like, get my daddy face. My daddy like shoved him on the whip, like on the car, like get on my face. You on my face for what? And then like my uncle got talking crazy. So my daddy like swung, but before my daddy even threw a punch, his homeboy grabbed his hand, and boom, like that was the end of it. Like, it was like, hey, like y'all chill out, brothers, y'all chill out. So boom, my dad like, I'm straight, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Boom, my uncle ended up leaving. He like, I'll be back. I'm not thinking nothing of it. I'm like, man, they tripping, right? Boom, my uncle spin the block, parked the whip. And he come back on feet. So I'm like, dang, I'm tripping. All I heard was gunshots. Pow, 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 pow. So I'm ducked behind the seat, like, oh, snap, look at Marlon. Marlon ducked behind the seat too, boom. So, dang. So then we ended up, I see my pops from behind the car. And the whole block, just everybody just went to hide, everybody hiding. So boom. Come to find out, I see my pops, pops hit. He hit on the side of his in his stomach, his abdomen. He hit in the side of his stomach. So now he can't like really talk and breathe. He losing blood and losing breath at the same time. So he walked up on my daddy. He beat my daddy with the gun. Just pow, pow. Hit him in the head. I just see blood just gushing from my daddy's head. So I'm just looking, like I'm in shock because I don't even know what to do at this point. I'm just in the car. Boom. I look at Marlon. Martin, like, I can't take this. So Martin hop out the whip. Boom. He was just shocked too. So I'm there, like, I'm not leaving my pops, I'm here. Boom. Looking at my pops. He just like, there's nothing he can do. He on the ground. What can he do at this point? He don't got no weapon on him, got no type of self-defense. He hit, he bleeding. What can he do? So my uncle just steady hit him with the gun, get to talking crazy to him. And after he was dead with my dad, he came to me and put the gun in my head, like just put it to my head. So at this point, I'm like, if you say something, I'm pulling this trigger. So I'm just like, I ain't gonna say nothing. I got my mom, my sister at home. Just I'm straight. So I just sat there for quiet. He walked off. I waited till he got off the street a little bit. Looking at my dad looking at me, but holding his stomach. So I'm looking at his eyes, like rolling back in his head. So I'm like, man, my pop's dying, bro. So I'm looking at him. He trying to say something. Like I know my pop. He was a soldier. He fighting. He trying to make sure I was good. He make sure I wasn't touch, hit, none of that. And which I wasn't. So he was, make sure I was good. So I make sure he good. Boom. I see my uncle get up further street. I get out the car. I'm checking my pops. His eyes. He going unconscious. Eyes going back to his head. I'm like, Dad, I'm 15. I ain't know what to do. I'm smacking him in his face like, Pop, like, stay with me. Like, I'm here. Like, stay with me. I'm here. Boom. It's the hood. We not finna call the ambulance. They take too long anyway. So boom. My daddy homeboys picked him up, put him in the truck, drove him to the hospital. Drove him early. They like, take a little view of the granny crib. I'm like, no, take me to the hospital with my pops. I'm not leaving my pops. So after my daddy hit, I'm looking like, somebody like, give me your phone. Give me like my phone. We used to pay my phone bill, so my phone was off at the time. We make some metro. I'm like, give me one of your phone, like my day, like give me one of your phones. I'm trying to call mom, let her know what's going on. Boom, I get contact mom, like mom. She's like, what's up? I'm like, look, my daddy just got shot. She's like, what? Where's y'all at? I'm like, we on Mary Street. She's like, oh my God, he just told me he's not gonna go on that street no more. Cause my daddy friend had just got killed a week before my daddy got killed on Mary Street. One of his little homeboys, well, I can say little homeboy, one of his homies got killed. And he made a promise to mom, like, I'm not gonna go on that street ever again. But it's crazy because I remember that conversation. And so as I got older, like after that, I remember where that drop came from. That drop coming from him making a promise to my mom and saying not going back to that street. And so that was like a bad, good feeling to me. So I was just like, dang, that's where it came from. Mom ended up come to the hospital. I'm sitting there, I'm waiting to hear from the doctors. So boom, it's like 10:30. They come out the little double doors. I'm running to them, like, what's up? They're like, sure. They like, can I see the parent and the son of the guardian? So I'm like, we right here. I'm all right here next to him. Like the nurses and everybody. They're like, we did everything we could do, but unfortunately he didn't make it. And when he said that, I literally just broke out, like punching the hospital walls. I'm going crazy. It's like my daddy gone. Like I never thought I'd see this day come. So I was just shocked. Ever since that day, it changed me. Like I said, it motivated me to become a man more. That's how it is. After that day, it was just like, shoot. My sister, all I got for real. Like everybody was confused. I'm not gonna say it's confused, but everybody was just, I don't even know, to be honest with you. Like, I don't even know how it was. Like, it wasn't right though. I'm gonna tell you that. It wasn't right at all. Like, the day my dad died, we did not go back to the house.
Why didn't you guys go back?
I knew for a fact I wouldn't be here last year. Like, knowing my dad was here yesterday and he's not here today, and I know why he's not here today, I didn't want to go back. So we literally moved out that next day. We moved out.
Where did you guys stay after?
We ended up staying with my aunt until we found a place to go. And we found a place to go. Like, I didn't even go to school. Like, after my dad situation, I didn't go to school for months. I was traumatized. Like, I couldn't go to school. Like,
I imagine.
I couldn't sleep. Like, every time I closed my eyes, it played back in my head. Like, the situation from point A to point B, it played in my head. So I'm like, man, Mom, I'm not going to school. I can't. Like, I didn't eat for weeks. I'm just crying in pain, but at the same time trying to stay strong for my mom and my little sister. And I don't think I really got strong until like my sister came to me like brother, like where daddy at? Daddy gone. And when I heard her say that at the age that she was, I was just heartbroken because I didn't know what, like, I'm like, dang, like who will guide me, and then who will be able to guide her? But mentally, I was there. I wasn't like, I'm gonna kill myself. I wasn't that. I was like, I was traumatized. So mama scheduled me to what's those things called? Therapy. Yeah, his name is Dr. Rico. That's still my guy to this day. She scheduled me him. I went to him for months. I can say he was a big help in this whole little process too, because it was days when I forgot it. It was times I forgot about it. Like, I didn't think about it as much as I did prior in my past. So I feel like that worked.
My name is Rico Richardson. I'm a professional counselor. I have been in counseling off and on for the last 25 years, but specifically for the last 15 years, full time, with offices here in Flint, Clarkston, and our new office in Flushing, Michigan. So that's a little bit more about myself. My bachelor's degree is in business, and I was planning to go into retail management with some corporation, but the opportunity came for me to work with some high school students at a university And from there, I eventually enrolled in a master's in counseling program. That's how I ended up in the field of counseling. It wasn't anything planned, it wasn't pursued, but it just sort of happened. When you start talking about violence and the impact it has on children, you could probably talk forever. Things that children are exposed to at a young age can be carried on in their memory and in their mind, in their soulish realm, the balance of their lives. So not only is it violence, but it could be substance abuse exposure, it could be multiple school districts being enrolled in. All of those early childhood experiences can continue in the child's psychic and in their mind and their hearts for years to come. The more traumatic things that happen to children have a greater chance of disrupting their physical growth, disrupting their emotional growth, bothering their cognitive abilities, especially things that are traumatic that are not resolved rather quickly and earnestly and effectively. And these things can go unnoticed and uncharted and not addressed for years. So you have a child who's been exposed to violence or sexual abuse or crime or poverty that can go years without getting proper help and proper emotional support. And that's concerning because children do become teenagers and teenagers become adults. And it's really difficult to rewind things and go back years and years and years and unravel and unwind things that have caused children pain who are now adults. Well, the red flags for children who are struggling emotionally or socially or behaviorally is the anger, the depression, isolation, poor decision making, sadness, irritability, agitation, not respecting rules, non-compliance, risk-taking behaviors. Those would be the basic behaviors you would see regardless of the mental health diagnosis. Those 15 or 20 things would be something that you would see. When they begin to impact the child's ability to learn, to self-manage, to self-regulate, to put themselves back, then you know it's time for some help to be given. Children will be children. They do need to explore. They do need to be themselves. They do need to be allowed the opportunity to make mistakes, to screw up, and we get that. But when it begins to impact their grades and their relationships, when it begins to disrupt the entire household, when it begins to disrupt their relationships, their ability to manage basic tasks, then something needs to be done. Therapy and counseling help individuals, whether it's children or adults, to express what has happened to them, whether it be through play or drawing or music or conversation. There's healing in words, and those words have to be spoken. They can't just be thought about. They can't necessarily just be written down. But healing comes through words, and the words that we express, when we put our experiences in words where we can manage them and see them and relate to them, that whole process of letting it out and discussing it is very beneficial. It relieves all the stress. It lets you know that you're not the only one. It lifts the burden of carrying secrets and carrying burdens for years off. Even though it still yet exists, at least it's out there for everyone to know or other people to know, and you can feel better about getting it off. It's like breathing a breath of fresh air. Though you're still in your same predicament, you've gotten it off of you. And the trained counselor or social worker is able to help a person walk step by step towards overcoming and making progress in areas that have been problematic in the past.
That whole incident, it was a journey because, like I say, after my uncle killed my dad, shot him, whatever he thought he did to him, he went on the run, and so at that point I'm like, dang. So did he mean to do it? Did he mean to kill my dad? Because if you didn't, why you still on the run? And he ain't went on the run for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He went on the run for months. I think he was on the run for like 7 months before they finally caught him. And but I was young, so there's nothing I can do about it. I can leave it to God's hands and leave it to the police department, even though I feel like it was like, y'all not doing your job, because how y'all still don't got them over 200 days later. Like, what is y'all doing? Like, what y'all here for? But like I said, I have to be patient. I have to be patient and just wait till God, tell his time was up. So, but how they caught him, they caught him in another neighborhood in Flint. The neighborhood they caught him in, I think it was over there by Kettering. It was already on the neighborhood watch. And I guess he was over there just in the area, just looking suspicious, with the police over there just sitting on there doing their job, watching the neighborhood. they said they had got a call that a black guy was trying to like look suspicious and look in the cars. So they were like, okay, they would watch him, see what he do. So I guess they say he was trying to break in the car. So they pulled up on him, like asked him, what's his name, what he doing. He gave him a fake name because he was wanted. So he gave him his real name. They can just put him in the system and it's gonna pop up wanted. So he didn't do that. So he played with him for a little bit. He gave him a fake name, and then when he gave him that fake name, it was like that name would pop up in the system, like. No, so I'm gonna need you to get in the car. Or they put him in handcuffs, put him in the car. They took him downtown and fingerprinted him. And when they fingerprinted him, it popped up like wanted for murder. And so mama got a call. I'm at school when he got a call. I'm at school. I got a call. I actually was transitioning. I was going from like the fourth hour to fifth hour or whatnot. And mama called me and was like they just called your uncle. And I stopped in my tracks and was like, what? And she told me, she repeated what she said. She said they called him. And I just like jumped in the hallway, like happy. But then when we got to the court system, that's where another process came to, because after he got caught, he didn't get sentenced to like a whole other year to after the whole situation. He did 7 months. He was on run for 7 months, and then he sat down for a whole year before we even got the sentence. But yeah, like we kept getting like anonymous tips, like he was hiding out of my granny house. And I didn't want to believe it. I mean, I don't know. So we had undercover posts up over there looking for him. Like, they was doing their job, but I don't know how often they were doing it. But it was just weird. Like I walk in the courtroom, like I'm thinking my whole family good. I walk in the courtroom, I got my mama's side, my daddy's side, all on different sides. I'm just like, damn, that's weird. So I'm just peeping the scene. And then as the time get moving forward, I ended up having to testify. And I never once even stepped my foot in the courtroom. Like I never once stepped aboard to a judge, none of that. So I was just like, dang, they stepped like to me, like it was just like looking around, like what the heck, So I ended up. That was a journey too, but I had some teachers who helped me like write my little paper. High school teachers, Mr. Kaufman, Mr. Clement, Mr. Zach. They was a big help, man. Mr. Nicholson, they was a big help in my whole little journey. Cause after he got caught, it was a journey. He had to sit down in the jail, he had to get the cases together, we had to get prosecutors, lawyers, attorneys, everybody. And so I ended up testifying. And like when I'm testifying, I'm looking at him like, I'm just looking at him. It's like he just smiling at me. And I'm not thinking nothing funny, because you took my pops from not only from me, but from my sister, from my mama, and from everybody else, from my whole family. And I still to this day like haven't heard from him, like closure or why he did it or whatever. So I mean, but I forgave him only because mama told me don't hold grudges. I forgave him. I just won't never forget it. I can't never forget it. My dad gone. How can I forget that? How can I forget how it happened to him? I'm near it. I can't forget none of that.
Clearly, there's a division.
It's a division.
I
don't know. I can just feel the vibe. I don't think my dad's side was really like. I don't know if they was mad at me for testifying, but like they at the time, if y'all put yourself in my shoes, like y'all know why I did what I did, why I did it. It's obvious I wanted not judgment. I wanted justice for my pops. I wanted justice. I wanted, something to be done. I didn't want him just walking out here to lie, after he killed my dad. So, but in the courtroom, it was just like, as I'm testifying, I feel like they think I was wrong about it. I feel like they feel like I was wrong about it. Cause like, still to this day, I don't talk to my dad like that. Like as I did before the situation, now I don't talk to him like that. I talk to a selected few.
Okay. If you could say anything to your uncle, the one that killed your dad, let's say he walked into this room shackled, of course, and sat like in place of the camera, what would you say to him?
Why? That'd be it. Why?
Has he ever expressed any remorse?
Like I can say he was in the courtroom, he smiling at me, so obviously he think it was just a game. So
From that point on, it's just your mom's side.
point on, just my mama's side here,
Right.
here on out.
How's your mom doing now?
Mama doing good. Mama, she one of those type of people like, Mama a churchy lady. She a godly lady. So like, she like, I can tell she really left it in God's hand. Like I know she did. Like and God did a good job with like dealing with it because Mom was a strong woman. She was like, and I love her to death. Like, and I'm proud to call her my mama because I love that lady.
What was graduation like?
Yeah, graduation was crazy because my daddy always told me like, listen, when you graduate, I'm right there in the front row, rooting you on. Like I'm gonna be proud of you. And so when the graduation was there, I'm like, dang, my pops ain't nowhere to be found. Like,
How did you feel?
I was hurt. But like I said, I had the support system behind me. So I had, my friends, they showed love to me. My family came to my graduation, they showed love to me. And we had a good time afterwards. So it kind of like made me like feel better than what I did.
These street lights. If you ain't in the house on time with things, come on, I'm Granny killing you. Ain't that right, Granny? If I wasn't in the house when the street lights came on, where you on my butt? If the street lights ain't come on, I was a little kid, what I be in trouble?
Yep, he had to be in the house, him and Marvin both.
Me and Marvin. She ain't lying. If we wasn't in the house by the time the things came on, it's a rose bush over there. You got a rose bush. Park. Came walking from this way. I think this greenhouse. This greenhouse had a bullet shot in the window. Mm-hmm. My uncle was shooting. And my dad was right here in this area. We parked right here. He was right here in this area. Shots was fired. He just ran. It was a car. He ran behind the car. And I think he was already hit because he was down for a minute. So I think he was already hit at that time. I got this a good friend of mine got this fucking house. She got this fucking house tomorrow. No. Good friend of mine.
Really?
I don't know. I think she said she got this because this is a song. You know this, you probably don't know it, but you know this song. Like if I scan this, it play this song for me.
Oh, that's what's
Yeah,
up.
it play this song for me.
And though where you started was not your best, and the process of change is uncomfortable and ugly, you can't run from it. Who you are and what you were born to do is waiting for you on the other side of this metamorphosis.